On today's question of faith, what is We Give Catholic? Hey there, everybody. This is Question of Faith. I am Mike Hayes. I am the director of Young Adult Ministry in the Diocese of Cleveland.
And I'm Father Damian Ferentz, the Vicar for Evangelization.
And I'm Patrick Grace, director of the Catholic Community Foundation.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Very good, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And so, when I first arrived here, I was only here a few weeks, and someone came down to my office and said, hey, we'd like you to host We Give Catholic. And I was like, yeah, it's great. What's We Give Catholic? And they said, oh, well, you see. So what is We Give Catholic?
Well, first of all, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, did you not arrive? That was the year we had the snowstorm.
Oh, that's right.
And I'll never forget watching Bishop Malesic walk across the street on his first We Give Catholic, trudging across in 8 inches of snow or whatever we had. So I remember that when you first started with us a couple years ago. So it was great.
There's another funny that I'll come back to.
Oh, please
Remind
do.
me. Yeah.
Please do. But what is We Give Catholic? So We Give Catholic was born 7 years ago, right? And initially it was born out of a secular movement, which still exists to this day. I think we're all familiar with Black Friday, go figure. Mm-hmm. And then there was Cyber Monday, as we all know. And really the nonprofit world came together, it's been at least 15 years, and decided that we were going to have a Giving Tuesday, which would follow Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And that's what gave birth to Giving Tuesday. What's happened over the last number of years is the Catholic community across the country, and even across the world, quite honestly, has come together and said, wait a minute, we can certainly leverage this and reach out to the faithful in our own respective communities to give to important ministries, schools, parishes, all kinds of great work that's happening throughout the diocese. And really, people can give throughout the country. So we're part of it. We Give Catholic here in the Diocese of Cleveland. There's I Give Catholic, which is across, I think there's something like 40 or 50 other dioceses across the country. So it's really great to connect people with causes and ministries that are important to them. So it's a 24-hour online giving event, is what it is in essence, Michael.
And the guy over to my left is going to be the co-host on
He
the
is.
live stream.
Yeah, so Tuesday morning, the live stream is actually going to be in this TV studio up here this time, right?
That is
we
correct.
Were in the lower level in the
Yes.
past. So that's fun. And there's a lot of excitement that day.
There's
a buzz.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about some of the guests that we'll be having, or no? Is that still
I
secret?
knew-
Or should we just say it's a secret and stay tuned? I don't know what we're allowed to say.
It is a little bit of a secret, but
Okay.
let's just say everyone, there'll be a race. We are going to have a race on the 5th floor.
Which is our floor,
our floor,
Parish
yeah.
Life.
Where Father Damian will lead that race. I don't know if are you going to be the referee or the...
It depends on when the race is, because I do have to sneak out to go teach a class at the seminary. So I don't know, but I know Mary and Kayla are they're preparing the course for this race.
Yes, there'll be some
Flojo.
special guests from one of our favorite sports teams, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
But it is great. We are hosting it again this year, and it's great to have you, Father Damian and Mike, your involvement. It really is a great opportunity for the diocese to support our parishes and schools. It's a fun day. Giving we can often think about as, do I have to support this thing, or do twist my arm, or we really think that this is an opportunity for our entities, schools, parishes, as I said, to come together and do so in a fun, it's competitive, in a good-natured way, where we have parishes looking at our leaderboard. People love to watch the leaderboard, and they see the school, they see the parish, they want to know how they're doing versus other parishes and versus other schools, all done in a healthy, competitive way to support great causes. So it's fun.
I think my grade school, Incarnate Word, is on there. I know Holy Name High School's on there. I know Borromeo Seminary's on there.
Yeah.
And I know we just got the Eucharistic Revival as one of the entities now, too.
It's 230 organizations participating this year, which is up from last year. I think we picked up another 10 or 15 organizations participating, which is great.
So if your school or your parish or your institution is there, you go online. Is there? Do you know the?
Yeah, it's
website?
WeGiveCatholic.org.
WeGiveCatholic.org, and then you can find, and then you can give your money and support your institutions.
Great way to direct money. I like doing that all the time. I like saying, I don't want to give my money to one big kind of slush fund kind of thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't want to do it. Yeah. I'd rather direct it to who I want to go. Where I want that money to go.
And most people, when they go, to your point, Father Damian, and yours too, Mike, that they go online and these are, I went to this school, or I visited this program, or, I have an affinity for this parish. They choose, several different organizations that they might want to sponsor. And that's the beauty of it, because there's a drop-down menu on the website when you give that day. So you can do all of that.
Now, I tend to be a little old school, so in the past, I would write checks at the end of the year and put them in a Christmas card. But last year was the first time, and I remember I came back after I taught, and I went on, and it was very easy to do, and I gave my donation to one particular place last year, and it was actually fun doing it. You felt the energy, like I'm part of this. I gave, and then you see the number go boop, and so it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, it is good. People, it's wonderful too. It's a great way to engage younger people. We know. I mean, you just mentioned you used to write checks. As we know, the next generation of people that are giving, I mean, they reflect what's happening. Go figure in the marketplace, and why would Catholics not follow right along with that? So we're trying to use this opportunity to teach and engage younger Catholics of how they can participate in the philanthropic experience as well. And so that's what we found to be so exciting about We Give Catholic a number of years ago when we started it, and it exists to this day. It really is a way to certainly, don't get me wrong, people still write checks, and we are grateful to our individual benefactors that continue to support us in that way. But this is a way to reach out to the next generation of donors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think even in terms of evangelization and sharing the good news, We Give Catholic is a great day where we are sharing the good news because we're bringing people in and hearing about different schools and different ministries from different people. And you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't considered how much good the Diocese of Cleveland is doing in all these different things. And to be part of that, we need to tell our own story, and we need to tell our own good news. And this is one day of the year where 24 hours.
Yeah, it starts at midnight and goes the full 24 hours. It's interesting, Father Damian, you mentioned that about, I mentioned early on, I should say, about how the healthy competition. We have a video contest that we ask all the organizations to participate, to do your video about your story, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we've had over 8,000 votes for and the winner, of course, because we love this healthy competition. So if the winner, whoever got the most number of votes, and we did have it make sure that people couldn't stuff the ballot box, so to speak. But that's awesome that 8,000 people went online. They looked at their video or other videos, and those videos are telling a story about what's happening in the life of the church. And so, to your point, that's another great way to get our message out. I was surprised when Linda Corcoran, who's the leader of this great effort, Linda mentioned that we had over 8,000 views of those videos. I thought that was pretty cool. And it speaks to your point.
I drive in I live at the seminary on the east side of town, as you know, so I take the shoreway in every morning, pray my rosary on the way in, and just past between Bracknell and Martin Luther King Boulevard, there's a digital sign, and I saw Bishop Malesic, We Give Catholic. I saw the billboard.
I saw it coming back from the 7 the other night also.
Yeah, it's great. We have some great partnerships and collaborate to get this message out. It really is a unique opportunity where both the diocese and the Catholic Foundation partner. And when we talk about a partnership, it really is a partnership. So we try to get the message out at this level, and then only supports what's happening at the local level. And so those billboards that you're referencing, both of you are, is something that have been a great way to get the message out over the last number of years.
And when we're on the live stream, we get super creative, and it's like really running a news show, right? It's like now we're going to go out to Holy Name Parish or whatever, wherever someone is, and we actually have someone live on the scene, and they're showing what the kids are doing around the school to kind of get things, to get people excited about giving. And
it's even impromptu. I mentioned a couple years ago at the outset when we had the winter storm. One of the principals at one of our schools, I think most of the schools didn't have school that day. Most of the schools were off because of snow day. And one of the principals went in and made snow angels, and they somehow wove that into, I think it was Brian Sinchek at LCA, and they wove that into the communications and social media during the day. So they took advantage of it. I mean, I don't think we're forecasting a blizzard next Tuesday, unlike this past Sunday morning, in certain parts anyway. So, it's great.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned earlier that it's a great time for us to tell our story. Now I'm at St. Brendan's this year for Field Ed, and we were talking about we give Catholic last night at the parish council meeting, and they said, well, we're not just doing a fundraiser that day. They said our students have made these little care packages to go to all of our homebound parishioners, and they're going to take it around, not only to tell them, hey, we have this fundraiser today, but we want to give back to you. This is what we're doing is because we're Catholic. We want to make sure that that you're remembered by our school.
That's great,
and that you're loved. And I was like, wow, that's really great. So yeah,
it's fun. I hadn't heard that story, but that's a good one to certainly be aware of and know. So, and those kind of stories happen throughout this day. It's just we're able to take this moment, this 24-hour period, and celebrate it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so it's all going to start when? Tuesday
at midnight.
Tuesday at midnight.
Yeah. It's funny. The first prize, because we are Catholics, as I said, we like the competition, right? We give away prizes all day long for. It's not just about getting the number of donors. We try to come up with some creativity. And the first one is the Midnight Owl. And so the parish or school that has the most number of donors, I think is between 12 and 5 a.m. or something like that, they get a prize. And so there's one particular parish, I'm not going to give them away, that every year they get all their benefactors and donors to give between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. To win that first prize of, I think it's $500. So, and then there's throughout the day, there's different names of different prizes that incentives to help people to make fun of it, as I mentioned.
So that Midnight Owl competition.
Yeah.
Who will that be? And that's a Father Dan Schlegel joke. We always give him nods for punny jokes,
Don't do that with Father Dan.
Yeah, he loves it.
I know.
Is he doing anything on it this time?
Yeah.
Last time he cooked last year.
Down.
He's doing that again.
Oh, we're doing the bake-off. That's right. We're doing the bake-off
Okay.
for the building again, which is fun. So believe it or not, we have fun with this. Go figure, in this building at Cathedral Square, and so we're doing a bake-off again for all the employees of Cathedral Square. And Father Dan participated a couple years ago. I think he was mad because I think Bob Hickey's wife, Jen Hickey, won it, and I think Father Dan thinks that he was crying foul. So hopefully,
was he making chicken?
What's that?
You said foul.
There you go. Oh my gosh, you're getting too much humor.
I just
Father
sat
Dan.
next to him at
Dan.
that meeting, so he's.
Oh boy. Anyway, so
my
I don't know
intelligence.
if he's entering this year, one of his items or not. We'll have to wait and see.
He's definitely doing some kind of cooking segment because I saw it on my rundown. So
He probably is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, he was doing something with the Magnificat, the honey bean. The honey,
Oh, that's right.
the honey,
That's
wasn't
what
he?
it was. Yes.
Something like he's making honey chicken or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
because
pretty cool.
Magnificat High School has beehives.
Beehives on the roof. I think.
And Our Lady of Elms has goats. A lot of these high schools. We got to get some animals at Holy Name.
I think St. Ed's has chickens, but
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think they do.
They do. Someone was mentioning it the other day because I actually use the laundry like right across the street from St. Ed's.
Yeah.
I live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I said, and someone said, "Oh, did you see the chickens?" I was like, "What chickens?" And I was like, "There's chickens at St. Ed's." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I think they're a new arrival. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there today.
you have to
so
ask
I'll-
Casey McKenna, the new president there, about
Oh,
that.
right. Yeah, that's great. So midnight, it's going to start.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then,
sorry. So yeah, Mike, I forgot. So we started at midnight. It goes all day and ends at obviously midnight on Wednesday morning, or however you want to look at that. And throughout the day, there's, as I referenced, there's these prizes and different incentives. We're giving away kudos and congrats to Boyd Watterson. They're giving us $20,000 a match, 1-for-1. So last year it went in I think 4 minutes. So someone gives, I forget the exact hours during the day, but it's matched. Anybody gives $100 is matched 1-for-1. And so congrats and certainly gratitude to Boyd Watterson. There's an opportunity for tuition assistance awards to be given. So we're giving away $100,000
Wow.
to schools. This for tuition assistance. The first segment starts at 9:15. So anybody that's out there, if you're one of those schools and you want to support a school of your choice that you support, that's a great way to help. Again, it's a matching gift opportunity. That last year was $80,000. This year it's $100,000.
Wow.
Which is so. If you're a school out there, there's no reason not to get involved.
Yeah.
We're going to have Dr. Franco Lynn, our superintendent of schools, on a future episode. But we just heard today, for the second year in a row in the Diocese of Cleveland, our enrollment in diocesan schools
that's
is
true.
up.
Wow.
Which is
That's great.
outstanding.
Yeah, especially with the preschoolers, which is looks great for the future.
Future
Yeah,
generations,
it's a pipeline
man.
thing, which is wonderful.
Exactly. I often say, we only have the bishops come and give good news, so they'll be announcing the matching gifts and things like that. So there'll be guests throughout the day. I know Bishop Woost and Bishop Malesic.
Bishop
both
Woost,
gonna be
I just rode up the elevator with Bishop Woost, and I said, "You're going to be there. We got you on this." He's announcing the Boyd Watterson match that day. So, and Bishop Malesic's been great promoting. I think he'll be on WTAM in the morning.
Oh, good.
A couple other radio shows during the day to promote, which always helps, and then all your usual social media coverage that helps as well.
Darren, do you have a bell or a horn or an instrument of wind that we can play when we get like a big donation or something?
So we have a bell. So this is
Instruments of
fun.
wind.
Last couple of years, so when we started this, it was we rang the bell when we hit $1 million, and then we did it when we got 2, and then this past year, or the last 2 years, we've raised $3 million plus, and so we have a cowbell.
Oh,
that we
more
use.
cowbell.
So don't tell Will Ferrell, right? So we do have a bell. I don't know if Linda's going to bring out the bell. She's like, wow, she always brings some different twist to it to make it a little more fun each and every year. So it's great.
So we've raised over $3 million the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? So I won't take any credit for that.
No, Mike, I think take all the credit you want. So we don't know. We'll see. I mean,
it was great. Yeah.
I was amazed when we raised $3 million the first year. That was during COVID, the snowstorm, by the way, and then $3 million plus again last year. So we'll see. I mean, it continues to gain great enthusiasm and attraction. So
Oh, I meant to. Here's my funny from that year that I forgot about.
Oh yeah, you didn't tell it. Yeah.
So I was driving in that year during the snowstorm. Now you got to remember, I lived 11 years in Buffalo, and so I think I know how to drive in snow. And I'm driving in, and everybody was saying, "Oh, drive carefully." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm fine. It's, I know how to drive. It's it'll be fine."
Sure.
Well, I hit something that morning, and my muffler dislodged on one side. And so all of a sudden I hear drag all the way in from Lakewood. And I get into the parking garage and I see this thing is on the ground. I'm like, well, I got about half an hour. There's no way I can fix it now. I'm just going to have to leave it and get literally, on the show, So I go over and I'm telling Miguel Chavez, he goes, oh, we'll go, we were hosting together. He says, well, we'll go out later and we'll see what we can do with it. And I'm like, okay, I am the least mechanically inclined person I know, right? I'm like, there's no way. And Miguel is dressed in a tuxedo, and I'm in a suit, right? And so here we are during our break, which is only about an hour, right?
Yeah.
Lying on the floor in the parking garage, which, is not necessarily...
Miguel in his tuxedo doing
Yes.
that? Oh, boy.
And we had a wire hanger, and we're trying to lift this muffler up so that we can drive it over to Conrad's, because I sure ain't fixing it.
No. Mike, that's a better story than watching the Bishop. I do remember watching him come, or Bishop Malesic walk across the street. He hates winter, as we know. And so... Yeah, that's a better one than that even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Conrad's, thank you for fixing the muffler.
Saving you. That's right.
And I fixed it the same day. I actually was able to go and get it at the end of the day. Miguel just drove me over, and I picked up my car and drove home. So it was great.
Yeah.
Very slowly and not over any snowbanks after that. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so that'll be We Give Catholic, so wegivecatholic.org, and that'll be on Tuesday,
November 29th, next week, Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
That's right. So this show is launching on a Tuesday, so depending on when you're listening, it's a week from today when we're recording on the 22nd, but it will be airing on the 29th. So check us out there. We'll be there all day. And our church search, since you're here, we're going to go to St. Patrick's on Bridge, and Father Damian, that's one of our 9 nights parishes, right?
It is. Father Gurnick's the pastor there. Father Mark Hollis, former spiritual director, is in residence, I think senior priest. Beautiful Irish church. The Jesuits were there for a while. They made some adaptations, but did not destroy, or they weren't iconoclast, which I think everyone's grateful for, because after the council there was a lot of changes, and they did what they did very respectfully. So the building is gorgeous. The windows are stunning. I think he just had them all redone recently. The community outreach there is fantastic. I think Catholic workers down there. I know Jim Schlecht, Father Benamenes work in that neighborhood frequently, so lots of good going on there.
I did an alternative break with my University of Buffalo students, and we stayed there.
Oh, did you?
We stayed in the parish. They hosted us for the week, which was really nice, and so we did a lot of stuff all over the neighborhood. In fact, they even just sent us out to the neighborhood the first hour we were there and said, just find out about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just walk around the neighborhood and find out. It was they did a really nice job with the students that time. And so it gave me a heart for Cleveland, and I came back here about 10 years later. Yeah. And so our church search is St. Patrick's on Bridge, so check that out. That'll be in the show notes. And our gospel for the first Sunday of Advent. Welcome to Advent, everybody. Jesus said this is from Matthew, Jesus said to his disciples, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So it will be also at the coming of the Son of Man. Be prepared.
Be prepared. And later on in the gospel, it says stay awake. And I think it's really easy to be distracted by screens and everything else and just kind of go on autopilot through life. And beginning a new liturgical year, wake up. Wake up. Let the Lord do his work in us. Yeah.
So if you tried to wake people up to a cause or to a ministry that you're really active in, thank you for that. And hopefully on Tuesday, We Give Catholic will be everything and more that we hope it will be. So, Patrick Grace, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all again next time here on Question of Faith.